Who is Jeffrey Epstein? The billionaire shrouded in scandal. Jeffrey Epstein was a financier whose wealth, connections, and mystery captivated the public until shocking allegations exposed a dark and disturbing double life. This video explores how he rose to power, the secrets that unraveled it all, and the questions that still haunt the world today. Epstein wasn't just a wealthy socialite. He was a man at the center of one of the most high-profile criminal scandals in modern history. This video dives into his connections, the investigations, and the lingering mysteries surrounding his life and death. From private islands to elite circles, Epstein's world was built on influence, secrecy, and manipulation. How did he gain so much access to power? Who was protecting him? And what truly happened behind closed doors? Today, we examine the rise and fall of Jeffrey Epstein, the man whose legacy left a trail of unanswered questions and global outrage.
So this is the footage of Jeffrey Epstein's cell, and it's supposed to be proof by the Department of Justice that no one went inside of his cell and killed him, and that's why they said he commits suicide. But there's just one problem. So if we look at the footage, there's about 11 hours of it. From the minute 11:59 to 12 a.m., it cuts out for 1 minute and we do not see that footage. Now, I don't know if this is some type of joke because everyone is starting to figure this out after watching the footage, but there's a whole minute that's completely cut out. Also, what happened to them saying that the cameras malfunctioned or they lost the footage, whatever the heck happened? But now, magically, years later, they recover the deleted footage or the footage that they never had from a different angle that's literally right in front of the cell, and it's the same day we get it where they say there is no client list and that he commits suicide. It's just frustrating because months ago the Attorney General said the client list was on her desk, and now there is no client list.
Welcome to Who Media, the channel where curiosity leads the way. From famous celebs and cartoon icons to legends and hidden names, we uncover the stories behind the people you know and the ones you don't. Jeffrey Epstein. Just the name alone feels like a loaded trigger. A whisper that echoes through elite halls, conspiracy threads, headlines, courtrooms, and nightmares. Who was this man? How did a seemingly ordinary math teacher become a millionaire financier, a convicted sex offender, and the dark gravitational force at the center of one of the most disturbing scandals in modern history? Was he simply a predator with powerful friends, or the tip of an iceberg that no one dares fully uncover? Born on January 20th, 1953, in Brooklyn, New York, Jeffrey Edward Epstein was raised in a modest working-class family. His father worked for the city's parks department, and nothing in Epstein's early life screamed elite. He wasn't born into wealth. He didn't graduate from college. So how did someone with no degree or traditional credentials climb into the world of billionaires and presidents? Epstein started his career as a math and physics teacher at the prestigious Dalton School in Manhattan. There, he taught the children of New York's elite, and in doing so, he caught the attention of powerful people, including Alan Ace Greenberg, then CEO of the investment bank Bear Stearns. Greenberg gave Epstein a job in finance. Just like that, Epstein leapt from the chalkboard to Wall Street. But how does someone with no formal training in economics become a financier, trusted with managing millions, even billions, in assets? That question haunts Epstein's entire career. He claimed to manage money for billionaires, yet few clients were ever named. His financial records were murky. His deals were secretive. His wealth seemed enormous, but mysterious. His primary known client? Leslie Wexner, the billionaire behind Victoria's Secret and the L Brands empire. Wexner gave Epstein power of attorney, unusual, eyebrow-raising power. Epstein acquired property, including his infamous Manhattan mansion, supposedly through Wexner. But why would a seasoned mogul trust Epstein so deeply? As Epstein's wealth and influence grew, so did the number of powerful names in his social circle. Donald Trump, Bill Clinton, Prince Andrew, Elon Musk, Bill Gates, even Harvard professors and Nobel laureates. He threw lavish parties and hosted secretive meetings at his homes in New York, Palm Beach, New Mexico, Paris, and, of course, his private island in the U.S. Virgin Islands, infamously dubbed Little St. Jeff. Why were so many titans of industry, politics, and academia so comfortable with him? But beneath the glittering surface, something far darker was unfolding. By the early 2000s, reports began surfacing of young girls being lured to Epstein's Palm Beach estate under the pretense of massage work. These weren't adults. They were minors, many from disadvantaged backgrounds. many coerced into silence with cash. According to multiple survivors, Epstein and his close associate Ghislaine Maxwell groomed, manipulated, and abused them, sometimes daily. Can you imagine the trauma of being a teenager caught in the gears of such a machine, used, dismissed, and silenced? In 2008, after being investigated by Palm Beach police and the FBI, Epstein was charged. But rather than face federal prosecution, he was handed a shockingly lenient plea deal. One count of solicitation of prostitution with a minor. He served only 13 months in a Florida jail, during which he was allowed work release for 12 hours a day, 6 days a week. The architect of this sweetheart deal? Then U.S. Attorney Alex Acosta, who would later become Secretary of Labor under Trump. Why was Epstein granted such an unprecedented, secretive deal? What pressure was applied behind the scenes? For a decade, Epstein largely disappeared from public attention, though whispers persisted. Survivors were ignored. The press looked the other way. But the survivors didn't forget, and neither did a few determined journalists. In 2018, the Miami Herald released a bombshell investigation that reignited the case, exposing how the justice system had failed the victims and allowed Epstein to continue his crimes. That article triggered federal prosecutors in New York to take another look. Finally, in July 2019, Epstein was arrested at Teterboro Airport, charged with sex trafficking of minors. The evidence? Chilling. Dozens of victims, hidden cameras, hundreds, perhaps thousands of photos of underage girls. His homes were wired with surveillance, leading many to wonder, was he recording powerful men for blackmail? Were secrets traded like currency in his gilded chambers? Just 1 month later, on August 10, 2019, Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his Manhattan jail cell. The official cause? Suicide. But the surrounding circumstances lit a firestorm of conspiracy. The cameras outside his cell malfunctioned. The guards fell asleep. He was taken off suicide watch days earlier. The autopsy was contested. Epstein didn't kill himself trended for months, splattered across memes, podcasts, billboards, and boards, graffiti like a cultural scream. Do you believe he acted alone? Or was he silenced by people terrified of what he might reveal? In his death, Epstein became even more powerful as a symbol of privilege, of broken justice, of secrets that protect the elite. His case brought global attention to human trafficking and elite impunity, revealing how systems can be manipulated by money, charm, and connections. But how many other Epsteins are out there? Protected, unpunished, still operating? Ghislaine Maxwell, Epstein's closest associate, was arrested in 2020 and later convicted of sex trafficking. Her trial brought more horrifying details to light, but it also left gaping holes. What happened to the names in Epstein's infamous Little Black Book? Why were so many high-profile people mentioned in relation to Epstein, but never investigated? Why were the client lists sealed? Why did so many institutions, media outlets, schools, banks, even governments, look the other way for so long? The story of Jeffrey Epstein is more than the biography of a predator. It's a mirror reflecting the darkest corners of power. It forces us to ask, how do wealth and influence warp justice? How do institutions enable monsters when it's inconvenient to confront them? And perhaps most chilling of all, how many victims still wait to be believed? Even now, years after his death, Epstein's shadow hasn't lifted. His homes were raided, his assets auctioned, but his legacy, if you can call it that, remains embedded in our collective awareness like a scar. Books, documentaries, lawsuits, and conspiracy theories continue to swirl. The deeper people dig, the murkier it gets. Is this about one man's evil, or a network of complicity that goes much further? So we end where we began. Who was Jeffrey Epstein? He was a teacher, a financier, a manipulator, a criminal. He walked the halls of the powerful while violating the powerless. And even in death, he raises questions no one seems ready or willing to fully answer. But until those questions are faced, until the systems that protected him are dismantled, the story isn't really over. Not even close.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? This guy's been talked about for years. You're asking, we have Texas, we have this, we have all of the things. And are people still talking about this guy, this creep? That is unbelievable. Do you want to waste the time, and do you feel like answering?
I don't mind answering.
I mean, I can't believe you're asking a question on Epstein at a time like this.
In February, I did an interview on Fox, and it's been getting a lot of attention because I said I was asked a question about the client list.
The DOJ may be releasing the list of Jeffrey Epstein's clients? Will that really happen?
It's sitting on my desk right now to review. That's been a directive by President Trump. I'm reviewing that. I'm reviewing JFK files, MLK files. That's all in the process of being reviewed. And my response was, it's sitting on my desk to be reviewed, meaning the file along with the JFK, MLK files as well. That's what I meant by that.
Thanks for watching Who Media. We hope you had fun learning something new today. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tap the bell so you never miss a story. Want to see more cool videos? Head over to our channel and start exploring.